you for tuning in to us in our Franciscan kitchen. If you don't mind, Jeremiah's behind the camera. This is the kitchen team, the crew, and today we're here to talk about the Super Bowl of Caring, and of course that means we're talking about Super Bowl Sunday, which is right around the corner. And if you want to talk about teams, football is a team sport. Well, so is cooking for your community. Right. Is a team sport. So we're part of Super Bowl of Caring because it's a great way to use a fabulous sport like football and the Super Bowl, and then also to let people know about hunger, especially childhood hunger that happens in every community, and it certainly happens here in Baltimore. And we're lucky because we have a good friend of ours, Tavon, who is a wonderful local Baltimore guy. He grew up in Woodlawn area, Evanston Village, yep. And he went to Woodlawn High. He did so well there. He went to Virginia. He got his degree in anthropology, and then he went on and busted his rear end and got into the NFL and played for the Jets. That is wonderful. I'm really excited for that. I think I'm more excited that now he's come back to Baltimore to be a coach, and he's been an assistant coach at a number of different places, but now he's the head coach at Woodlawn football. He's coming back, he's going to mentor, and he's going to help a lot of kids be better, and that's what we all can hope for, right? So thank you, Taylor.
Thank you for having me, and just like you said, the biggest thing for me not being able to wear this jersey and wear the logo of the NFL was being able to come back home to Baltimore, start my foundation to help out the community. I was excited, like I told Angela, to partner with you guys in the center to do the sock and washcloth drive. I think we collected like well over 1,000 pairs of socks and washcloths. Yes. And we did that within a 2.5 to 3 month span, a quick turnaround, and that just from building up the noise from starting up my foundation in 2011 with doing sports fit days for the schools, going to the area schools and doing sports fit days, getting the kids moving. We do a slipper drive for all of the children's hospitals in the state of Maryland and out of the state of Maryland, where we take 100 to 200 pairs of slippers, and I go surprise the kids, autograph, and just try to make them smile, because I know we can't get them out of the hospital like they would want to, but if they had their favorite pair of slippers, to make them smile, that was big. And then we do a healthy snack drive for Camp St. Vincent de Paul. So the same way we talk about childhood hunger, Camp St. Vincent de Paul cater to our kids are in homeless, transitional homes. So my foundation and other people will help fill up their pantry with healthy snacks for the summer. And then we will always end the year off with doing a winter coat and toiletry drive for the West Side Men's Shelter. So I just felt like that was my purpose growing up West Baltimore. I split between George Street Elementary, for those who know about the Murphy Home Project area. My elementary school was in that area until when we moved and I went to Emerson Heights, Woodlawn Middle, Woodlawn High, and I always had it fixated in my head if I was able to make it to the NFL, whatever I did to come back home. A lot of athletes, they help out in the states where they play. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm a Baltimore boy 100%, and I wanted to give back. So I just thank you guys for having me here, and let's have some fun.
That's right. Let's have some fun. And let's celebrate nutrition.
Thank you very much. This is amazing, and I tell you, being home, Baltimore is my adopted home,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to be here, and thank you for coming into the kitchen and spending some time with us. Today we're going to make something that, we're going to make some creamy honey butternut squash soup.
Okay.
So hopefully you like butternut. This time of the year, butternut squash and everything is running out, and my team assembled what we call our mise en place.
Okay.
So it's, mise en place is a fancy French word for everything in its place.
Okay.
So it's a lot easier for me to come in when everything's done.
Right.
I don't got to do all this shopping. Thank you, team. But no, so we're gonna get started and just go away and start cooking. Okay.
Shout out to your team.
I'm telling you, they're amazing. All right. Let's do a little bit of cooking. How's that sound?
That's good.
So the unique thing here at the center, we have these little burners, and we get one started.
Okay.
And so basically, with soup, we use what I call the Holy Grail of soup. Is our mirepoix, and mirepoix is basically onion, celery, and carrot.
Okay.
And this is the start of every base for us that we do here at the center. It's all, like I said, fresh, grown, and local, and so forth like that. And we're just gonna heat up this pan a little bit. And then we're gonna start sauteing off our vegetables to make them a little translucent. And then we're gonna start adding and incorporating our squash.
Okay.
And then some of our spices. So this is the spices are really, as you can see, this is the amount of salt we'll use for the entire dish.
Okay.
Now it's really 1 ounce of salt I think we're using for this.
Okay.
And this pot is about a 8-quart pan. We'll end up with probably about 2 gallons worth of soup.
Okay. Do you think the spices play a role with getting people to transition over to eating healthier? They still have that little blast with it, and
Yeah.
besides hearing the names, I know what you mean. But if you have
Right.
certain names, not eating that stuff.
Exactly,
What is
and
that?
and sometimes we don't tell people we're putting turmeric or
Right.
ginger in
Right.
in our we actually, I mean, sometimes I like to keep it a secret, but we do tell our folks that, hey, look, it's got turmeric in it, or this is a turmeric rice, or this is like a ginger, and at first it's that hesitant,
Yeah,
pushback.
of course.
It's like with anything, they want to push back. So our pan is smoking. So if you want to just dump in about half of those carrots.
Okay.
Turn this down a little bit. And that is the, keep going. That's good. All right. That is the sound that you want to hear when you're cooking. At least that's the chef's
That's a good sound.
good sound. And then about half of that and half of the carrot I got.
That's it.
Yep. All right. And half of those carrots. Can you give me some garlic, please? And I'm going to grab this spatula up here.
Okay.
And we're just going to give this a little turn.
You smell good.
It does, right? It's the start of something. Hey, it's the start of something. Start of something pretty here.
Like nothing in a box.
Right. So we're gonna let that render down and saute just for a few minutes.
Okay.
And it's gonna start to fragrant and you'll start to smell. What I like to do next though is I'd like to take some of our spices here. And what I call it's called blooming. I like to put them in so they start to become fragrant.
Okay.
So we'll take a little bit of the thyme, sage, paprika. We'll leave it a little hot. Actually, we'll put a little crushed pepper and some of the salt. I'm going to just dump a little bit in each of it.
All right.
Okay. There you go. That's it.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah. Excellent. And if you like it, a little bit of salt. You notice we're just using, like to use kosher salt here.
Okay.
And we're not going to use any black pepper because we're going to use the red crushed pepper.
Okay.
And we're also going to use some of the paprika and the red cayenne pepper. That's good. Oh, you like things spicy?
I'm just getting into the whole spicy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
My dad used to, whatever sauce you think, he'd do the green hot sauce. He was a body shop manager at Coons Ford on Security Boulevard.
Oh, okay.
So they would do challenges, like crazy money challenges, who could eat the hottest wings. So they had like this for money, and one of the guys did it. He had to go home early, like around his lips was red, stomach was lit up. So
That's crazy. That is wild. All right. So these vegetables have been sauteing for a couple minutes, and it's starting to get translucent. And
so when you say translucent for somebody like me,
okay, I'm sorry. So translucent is the color of the onion. It's starting
Okay,
to
cool.
get,
Okay,
starting
gotcha.
to get a little bit. Carrots are a natural source of sugar.
okay,
So the longer you cook carrots, they're going to start to caramelize,
Oh, okay.
and then they'll actually start putting out sugar.
Okay.
Basically, honestly, every vegetable has sugar. 'Cause
Okay.
if it's produced by the sun, it's got sugar. in it. It's a natural
Okay.
system. The photosynthesis of everything.
learn the time.
Yeah. Believe me, everything's got sugar in it. It's amazing when you and it's natural. It's not the processed sugar that we're worried about. So I'm gonna give you a glove there.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a big old heaping. Oh, I'm sorry, you missed the garlic. Can you pass me that garlic heaper? There you go. I'm just gonna drop a little bit of this garlic in there.
Okay.
Just like we'll keep. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Kika. That's Keisha for short. I got nicknames.
We all got
Got the
nicknames.
nickname?
I got nicknames for everyone. Hey, That's young William, even though he's old.
I got the same thing. The same thing. Tavon, Mason, my dad, they would call him Mason. His first name is John. I would call him Little Mason.
Oh, my goodness.
I go visit my brother in college. His first name is Jamon. They call me Little Jamon. I'm like, no, that's not my name. My name is Tavon. All right, Little Jamon. All right.
Do you want to grab you wouldn't mind grabbing a couple handfuls of that
Okay.
and just drop them in there? A couple big handfuls. So this is the butternut squash. We roasted off the other day. And we roasted it with salt, pepper, little, one more handful. Don't give it that. Perfect. All right.
There we go.
There you go. Okay, I'll take that glove from you. Thank you. Thanks. Okay. Look at that. All right. Well, let's work. I'm going to add a little bit of water.
Okay.
So we're going to start this soup process here by adding a little water. And then what we have here, this is a concentrated vegetable stock.
Okay.
So it's really all the vegetables that you see there, but it's concentrated down into like almost a base.
Okay.
And we're just going to put a little bit of this in there because it just added some more concentrated flavor
Okay, cool.
to that. And let's stir that in. And we're going to let this simmer.
So what do you think as a chef and even your other chefs think is like the big misconception about soup?
So I'm a soup guy.
Okay.
I tell you, we are actually working on a brand called Elevated Soups. We're
Okay.
going to start, hopefully in the fall, have a rollout where we're going to start producing soup as a social enterprise for the center.
Right.
For me, I eat soup all year round.
Okay.
And I just fell in love with soup when I got here. You know, when Jeff had said to me, "What do you want to do?" and I said, "Well, we're a soup kitchen,
Yeah.
so we got to elevate soup."
Right.
Hence the name stuck. And I think the biggest misconception is really of what, maybe not soup, but what a soup kitchen is.
Okay.
You know, when you talk soup kitchen, you have this vision in your head of what? Old men standing in line with a crusty piece of bread and a bowl of some porridge.
Well, I know mine would be once a week a church will have a soup kitchen. I know the church I grew up in, St. Gregory's, right in the Sandtown project there by Gilmore Elementary. Every Wednesday they will make the announcement at the end of the service. Don't forget our soup kitchen is Thursday or Wednesday. So, and that got stuck in my head of, like you said, like okay, I'm going around the side of this building. I'm gonna have a bowl, eat my soup piece. I see y'all later, and I'll come back the next week. So, and I of course, when I was younger, would be the canned soup my mom and grandmother would give us. And as I got older, I started to move away. Then I came back to like lobster dish, of course, that was Maryland crabs, and
Right,
stuff like
of
that.
course.
But, right, not a big variety or variance. So I'm kind of like a stickler to what I like, but I got away from being a soup person.
Right. Well, I tell you, you know, this is so like for me again, nutrition. Everything in here is fresh from the earth. To change that perception of that idea of what you saw, what you thought of, is what we're trying to do here at the center.
Okay, gotcha.
You know, and when you talk about nutrition, you know, we've even talked about, wow, do we still call ourselves a soup kitchen, or do we call ourselves a nutrition center?
Right.
Because now we're doing everything, we call this a scratch kitchen. We're doing everything from scratch, you know? We're not buying the processed cans of, food, and even soups. We make all our soup right here, in this big contraction here. Believe it or not, we make 35 gallons of soup at a time. And we're doing a smaller version for the home version, but we make about 35 gallons of soup at a time to feed our population.
That's cool.
And I mean, it varies. We're about 250, between 150, 250 a day now coming in. But we're doing a lot of outreach, so we're sending out about, I guess about 600 meals a day
Wow.
to community parks, senior centers,
Yeah.
senior buildings, and we're servicing also a couple homeless encampments.
That's cool. So I
So-
follow the social media sites, and I will see every time that notification will pop up. And a thing that's kind of cool to me with doing this with you is how a lot of things are reversed. First, we was in a big, heavy order out
Right.
Get everybody sit down, eat, get them out the way so I can take a mental break. But we are starting to see like a change with families or just people in general really taking the time to cook and really to break down on what they're eating. And I know over the years, and I know for me, like I said, with my family, it took, I got to change this because I don't want to be the next 58-year-old that either taking blood pressure pills or taking heart pills. I don't want to take anything, you know. And even to the point after playing football, I don't even take ibuprofen. If I get a headache, I just let it roll out, you know, from having to take all of that playing and getting ready to play a game. So, but this is pretty cool, you know, and definitely glad everybody that you guys service get to see that everything they eat is natural, you know, and it's not just, oh, we just go buy. We can call a distributor, like, just give me 100 pounds of this, and we just throw it in the microwave. Well, big bro, here you go, eat it. Thanks for coming along.
It's true, and like I said, the biggest thing for us here is controlling what we put into the meal. You know, my cooks and even our apprentices, they're I'm the one that's always saying it needs more salt, you know, and I'm the last one to put salt inside it. And because I tend to undersalt everything. Simply because you can put it in, but you can't take it away. You know? So we're going to let this simmer for just a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab another little contraction. Here, would you grab me that Vitamix over there?
Ooh, definitely like this.
Yeah, so...
Cool.
And she's trying to bring this to a quick boil. All the so all the squash is cooked. We got the mirepoix going. I just want to bring this to a little bit of a boil. Thank you.
So do you find it tough? Because I know when we do what we want to do, and this is for all the cooks, do you find it tough? Like after you've been doing this all day long, to go home and do it for yourself, or?
It comes in boil. I'm gonna grab a little tasting spoon here, and I'm just gonna give it a little taste to see where we're at. If you want to, please, just to see. We might. It could lose a little bit. It's got a little heat to it. It's not bad though, right? And it's so. We got all this. So this soup, we like to take it to the next level, the next stage of it, right? And I should have Keisha come in. Ha! That's that look. That's that look. Come on, Keisha. What we're gonna do, Tay, is we're gonna take this and we're actually gonna put it through our Vitamix. Okay. So it's starting to come to a boil. And then we're going to put it through our Vitamix. We're going to add a little bit of honey and a little bit of cream to make this a creamy honey butternut squash. Okay, cool. And you notice how the flavor is. So I'm going to put you through. We'll put you through the 3 different stages of how this tastes. So you tasted it now, right? And then there we go. It's got a boil to it. Yeah. Okay, good. So it took about. This is roughly it takes you if everything is cooked. I mean, granted, the squash takes us about 45 minutes to an hour to roast. Okay. We roasted it. It takes us about 45 minutes to an hour to roast. We roast it at a high temperature in these ovens and so forth. And then the carrots. Everything is a process. I mean, peeling carrots. No one loves to do onions, but you likes to do onions. You does onions really well and so forth. And yeah, so you ready? You ready? Go ahead. Okay. So Keisha's gonna go ahead and I'm gonna shut it off, and Will's over here as well. Okay, so you guys, and then we'll let ladle. Yeah. So we'll take this through the first processing. Okay. And we'll ladle some soup into our Vitamix or mixer. Okay. And then we're going to puree it. So this is probably the dangerous part of what we do, because taking hot soup and moving it over, right, and then pureeing it, we have to take the top off of this. And I don't urge anyone young one at home to do it. But you have to leave the top off. Leave the top, right, because of the heat. The heat will expand and it'll explode and so forth. and we don't want anything popping on here.
It smells so
Obviously.
You get to see different flavors and different types.
Yeah.
That's another thing that you guys want to hold education behind.
So the interesting thing, I have a time limit on it. We actually set it for like 45 seconds, and we puree this, and then just want to reduce this. This is how you do that. Big boy. Yes. Okay, so Tay had a question. How do we do that when we use the big boy? So we use this. So this is a stick blender. They come in different sizes. Immersion blenders, you might see a small one at home, but this is the one we use, the industrial size for this. We blend it down to get to almost a consistency, and then we put it through there. So let's take Tavon taste that. Leave it there, and then we're going to take the next thing we're going to add is just a tablespoon and a half of honey. Yeah, it's hot again. So it's changed a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, I'll take that from you.
That's good.
So you taste it now. It's kind of like a buttery nut.
Right.
So we're going to add a couple things to this. We're going to add a tablespoon and a half of honey,
Okay.
and then we're going to add probably just a quarter cup of heavy cream.
Okay.
So, is it? And this is going to change it again to where we are at what we like to call our creamy honey butternut squash soup.
Okay.
And you have a little bit of the, if you notice, you have a little bit of the heat on the back end of it. And then, oh yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thanks. And then we're going to add just about a little bit less than a quarter. There we go. Okay. And we're going to. Thanks.
Yeah.
You want some? You good?
Yeah.
You guys have any trays out there?
And it again.
Yes, to be someone who.
You got some more?
I mean, don't worry about it.
Thanks. Okay. So now we've taken it, we've added this cream to it, changed the color a little bit, added a little bit of honey. You want to taste it again?
No more.
You want to taste it, Keisha?
Yeah.
So how's this now? How's it now?
Yeah.
It's there?
Yeah. Try to give me a new love for soup.
Did you need anything? Salt, anything like that? No?
That's fine.
How was it, Keisha? Good?
That was good right there.
So, thanks, Keisha.
That's good right
Tay,
there.
Tavon, this is your
Oh wow, thank
your
you.
your,
Appreciate it.
your soup.
Yeah, y'all gave me a new love. Like I said, that wasn't big to break down the ingredients to make homemade seafood. It was like you said, the canned one. We just put this in a pot, boil that thing up. Hey, y'all go eat it. Take your crackers, that's it, eat it. But being able to see it on this level, and again, as being a former athlete, it makes a difference. Because again, as we were speaking about helping our performance, if I would know this probably early on in my career, like the early 20s, that could change, you know, how you go. Not even just on the field, like even now with me changing and cutting back on a lot of stuff. In my mid 30s, I'm 40 now. I feel a lot better, and I love where I am. So this is real good. Again, just teaching and the people who you guys serve, and letting them know. Because again, in our culture, we know if it's not something that we regularly do, it's not going in our body.
It's not going.
You give us a title, like whatever, man. So what's the name you had on the menu the other time? I don't want that thing. What is this stuff? They don't know, but teaching and educating is like huge, because they educated me today of doing this and the stuff that you put in to create that, and to know that you put that in this and to make something bigger. That's cool.
Yes, question.
Yeah.
Now that you saw how easy that was to do this, would you do that at home?
Oh yeah. First
Instead
thing
of
I said in my
buying a
head when I had the trade prep and looking, I was just like, okay, I know what I'm gonna start getting. And like I said, it gives a different realm. If we as athletes had, you know, cooks like you guys to just do like a segment, because the NFL does rookie symposium, you know, on how to manage your money. Why not do, instead of having to spend out money to get nutrition, why not pay the money for cooks like you guys to come and say, listen, you want the peak performance, and you know, in football, you know, even though you play once a week, you beat your body up every week, you know, and sometimes the same way of us being regular people going to work, they do the same thing. I don't feel like cooking this. I'm just gonna buy the first thing while I'm driving home from the stadium. They go right in that drive-through, or they go to here to go there, and instead of to be able to do this, and it helps. I think it can bring family together as well, because they can see you do it, and then when they taste it, like, no, that can be the stuff you put in here, you know. So I definitely take that step to do it, and you teach more for myself.
Really. So listen, I want to thank Tavon Mason. I appreciate you coming out and spending some time with us.
I thank you guys for having me, your staff, and again, congratulations to y'all for allowing me in your turf. Regardless of what I've done, y'all well ahead of me. I just play the game, got my body beat up, but y'all doing things to help us, to help people. Y'all help me as well, because like I said, like Keisha said, ask me, I'm definitely gonna need more of this, because again, I was here where it's feet. I only did it if I went to a restaurant,
right?
But to be able to do it myself, gotta pull back on having me wanting to go to a restaurant. And like, oh, instead of going to a restaurant today, let's get the ingredients to make stuff my own, for my own stuff, to be able to live longer. And again, this is what you guys are doing for the hunger component here in Baltimore, and this for our kids. You know, this is great. You know, so and I'm glad to be able to do it with you guys and let Baltimore flourish like the other states that do it with the Super Bowl together. And this is the perfect time to put it out, because Super Bowl is the most watched event in the world. So for this to get out, people can see it. I definitely share it myself. This is great. I appreciate it. I had fun. I had a blast.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming.